Andres, so you are a franchise owner with Hero Systems, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
How long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing this since January 1st from this year.
So you, as many other business owners across the country, actually the world, have gone through a pandemic. I
Right.
think one of the biggest challenges for any business owner right now was, am I going to survive? Am I going to make it? How did you guys do it?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to do it yet. Because I was like, we're in the middle of pandemic. People can't even dine in. You know, people don't even have money, right? Because they were unemployed.
Sure.
Right? And Christmas just came through. People wasted their money on Christmas gift. It was January, like the slowest month you can ever start a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still took the risk. I'm like, well, if it's not today, it's never. So, and I actually wanted to buy the one near my house in Lake Oswego because it was closer to me because I live in Tigard. So driving to Gresham, it was like, oh, that's gonna be a lot,
That
right?
is quite a drive.
Yeah, every day.
Traffic-wise as well.
I was like, that's gonna be a lot, but I was like, no, I gotta start somewhere. Maybe next thing I know, it goes well. I go to Lake Oswego too, and I have 2 stores now, and that's the plan. We're planning on opening one in Lake Oswego. So, but yes, and the pandemic was really, really scary. I had the support. I had the support all the time. Jack even told me, like, if you see you're struggling, just let me know. We can always work something out. Just make me calm, right? Like, every time they talk to me that way, I'm just like, okay, you know, like, even if I messed up the first month, they're still gonna understand. So that's really why I love this place. You know?
There's a lot of support, sounds
a
like.
lot of support, and a lot of help, and a lot of love too.
A lot of the business owners, especially in the food and beverage industry, struggle because, like you just mentioned, people couldn't go in and dine in. They had to reinvent themselves. You know, we've seen a lot of restaurants serving outside, a lot of online ordering. How does the franchise you have work with those kind of restrictions?
It's a sandwich, right? A lot of people don't really eat dine in. Like, yes, they do, but most of our customers, like people in a rush, they have 30 minutes, right? So they just go in, order, and go back to their office and eat at their office. So that's another reason why it didn't affect us that much, because it's like come in and get out, right? Like just quick
pick up and go kind of.
Yeah, pick up and go. My store actually has the online ordering. That actually helped a lot too, because it's just we have like a stand next to the register and be like pick up, so people would just walk in, walk out.
Oh, just literally pick up and go.
Yeah, they don't even have to wait in line or anything. Just pick up and go because it was already paid. So that was really sweet.
Sometimes people have the passion to do something and the desire, and they're willing to put in the work, but the expertise, especially when it comes to business, can be a challenge. How has your experience been in that regard, like business reports, financial reports, dealing with suppliers?
Right.
And you just mentioned that one of the biggest things about your store is the quality of the product and the sandwich that you're delivering. So for that to happen, all of the behind the scenes operations have to take place. So how does the system help you with that?
That's another great thing they have. When you sign up to be a franchise, they have this training for like I believe 2 weeks it was, and the first week is like if you were a manager. They train you like if you were a manager. The second week, it's like they teach you how to do statements, they teach you how to order, they teach you everything, like the back of the house, right? Like as the business owner, they teach you from the beginning to the end. So that was really, really helpful. And yes, I still have problems, like I still trying to get used to it because I'm not really good at it. But like I said, I call them or text them, and they either go to my store or they tell me to come here, and they help me through the step. And Jack was always told me, it was like, there's no stupid question. It's stupid not to ask. So
ooh, I like that.
I stick to that all the time. So I'm like, okay, I think it's a stupid question, but he said it will never be a stupid question. So that's another thing. Yeah, it makes sense.
So when people think about opening up a business, especially something that has a kitchen or a baking area, so with that said, are we talking about like a big place here? I mean, do you have to have like a full-blown bakery?
The kitchen is not as big.
Okay.
I mean, you don't really need that much space in the back. All you need is your oven, your mixer, and a small table where you do all of the art. You just do your beautiful bread there. And the meats, I mean, we slice, like I said, we slice it. We have the slicer there, and the table is where we have the prep table. We have everything just really small. So it's really a small kitchen. You don't need a dishwasher.
So it's not intimidating.
Right, no,
the
you
thought
just
of
walk in
having-
and you're like, oh, this is it, right? Like, it's really easy to do. Like I said, anyone can work there. Anyone can bake the bread. Like I said, they have a great system how to bake the bread. The recipe is really simple. Learn how to make the bread there.
So you mentioned that the meats get sliced like deli system. You know, my husband actually prefers going to the deli and getting the meat sliced because of the flavor and the freshness. So is that the reason that you guys do it that way?
That's
okay,
the
so
reason
tell me a
we
little
do
bit more
it.
about
So
that.
we kind of have an idea now how much we sell in a day,
Mm-hmm.
how many containers of meat we're gonna need. So we literally slice enough for one day.
You know, the bread is baked in each individual store,
Right.
in your store. What about the products? Is there anything specific that we should know about it? The meats, the vegetables?
Yeah, so we slice it every single morning. And for the bread too, we don't keep old bread. Like what I do, the bread that's left over, I either take it to my family members
Mm-hmm.
or I just give it to the church.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing to do too, right? Instead of throwing it away, because I don't like wasting food. I come from a really poor family. Wasting food is not my thing, so I try to either give it away or just donate it to a church for people that actually need it. The meat and the vegetables, I don't like I said, I always serve things that I would eat.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see the meat is not in good condition or the tomatoes are over past due or something like that, I'll just not even serve it. So that's how I look at it, and I feel like everyone does that in Big Time Hero.
You also just mentioned that for you, you're conscious about making sure that nothing goes to waste. We live in a world that things are scarce for some people. What other things do you do with or for the community from the stand as a franchise owner?
Yeah, right now, so I like to be involved in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's not a lot of things to do, but as soon as the school starts to open back, I'm gonna be in contact with them. I'm actually going to start being part of the Rotary Club. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yes.
And I think there's another one called the Chambers or something like that.
The Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so I'm going to be part of those two and just help the community and do the most I can, right? Because helping the community is also what helps our business. Because we also, the whole corporate itself, we try and help the community. We actually been doing something called $1 we plant a tree. So it's every dollar that you donate, Big Chunk Hero plants a tree.
Matches. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
That's
Is that here locally then?
Yeah,
in the
here
community
locally
you guys
in
are?
Oregon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Especially because of the forest, what happened last year. It was we try and help as much as we can.
How has the experience of working with Jack and the whole team has been from that point? I mean, it sounds like you already had that, personal enthusiast and goal kind of driven personality. So how does that come in to work with a franchise system?
Well, I once actually met Jack because I was translating to my uncle when he was signing his paper for the franchise and everything. And he once told me, he's like, you look like you have potential. Why you're not partnering with your uncle? I was like, well, he never mentioned it or anything like that. So I was like, I never actually thought about being part of a franchise. But then later on when I saw my bakery fail, I was like, I think it's time, I think I should give it a shot. If my uncle is able to handle 2 stores, I'm pretty sure I can handle 1 store. And I actually didn't even ask my uncle for help for contacting them. I searched in the internet and just search a Big Time Hero franchise, and I emailed them, and they emailed me back right a day later where I was like, oh, this is nice. And they sent me the application, and the funny thing is in the application they asked your credit, how much money you have in the bank account. At the time I actually had $50 in my bank account.
Oh wow.
And I put in there that I had $20,000.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, oh, that's enough to cover the down payment, $20,000. And the whole time I was like, yeah, I have the $20,000. And it was time to sign papers too and give the down payment. I only had I believe 10 days to get the 20,000. I'm just like, oh shoot, where am I gonna get this 20,000? So I asked every single family member, every single friend, and I was able to get all the 20,000 by the time they needed it.
Oh my gosh, I just got chills. Wow.
Yeah, it was really tough. I kind of didn't like it though, because I was lying to him, but at the same time well, I kind of had to do it so they can give me the opportunity, right? So it worked out. I mean,
worked out for
yeah,
you.
it worked out. I mean, I have the business now, and I paid off my uncles everything already, so that's good.
That's awesome.
It was scary at first, right? Because it's like a whole new level, right? Franchise is like something's already stable, right? So it's like I was scared because it was a pandemic.
Mhm.
I was only 20 years old. I literally had no money. I was like, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna owe my whole family 20,000, and I'm gonna let the franchise down, right? So I was like, I really need to make this work. So they've been so helpful. I honestly, it's the best franchise like anyone could go to. I bug them every day. I call them or I text them like, hey, how do I do this? Hey, how do I do that? Actually, the vice president, which is Kellen, his daughter said already that why he's always on the phone with me, and then I'm just like, oh, my bad, like, but it's because like I don't want to mess up. I always bug them because I don't want to make a mistake.
Sure.
And actually, Jack is always pushing me to like, keep going, like don't stop because other people say stop. And what actually pushed me more to continue with this franchise is that he told me since the beginning, I'll be here as a mentor. It's like, I want you to be successful, so I'll be here to any questions, anything. I'll be here to help you go through the right path. So that was really nice. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
they're not gonna let me on my own, right? Like, they're gonna be there next to me, and since today, they're right there next to me, and we're working already in the second store, so that's fine. That's
wow,
great.
that's great. You mentioned you're in contact with Big Town Hero systems all the time. What kind of contact is that? Is that like, hey, how you doing, or what are we talking about? What
Well,
kind of
at
calls?
first it was more like professionally, right? Like I was typing all like professionally, right? So, but now it's just more like a family feeling. Like I can text them anytime, they will respond to me right away, helping me. They're always looking out to me, like, and they always like tell me, you're the star. You're only being here for 3 months. So that really just like I feel like I'm part of the family now. So that's a great feeling. Just knowing some people that I never knew now see me as their family. That's
yeah,
really,
that's a big thing,
that's
especially
a really big thing.
because
The easiest thing is that there's a system on there already. Like it's been proven for almost 40 years, I believe. The name is out there. Everyone knows Big Time Hero. So there's really not a risk about selling Big Time Hero. There's not really a competition either. We're like fresh bread from scratch. We fresh vegetables, fresh meats. We slice it every single morning. We're not like other, restaurants that they have the frozen stuff, right, or things like that. We actually are fresh. I think that's the best about Big Time Hero. At least the quality of the food is so fresh. It's something that I'm proud of selling. I'm not afraid to be like, oh yeah, I'm the franchise owner, right? Like I say it proudly, right?
away,
Yeah,
right?
I say it proudly. Yeah, I'm the owner of this place, and I'm happy with it, and everyone's happy with it. Every customer's happy with it. Every worker's happy with it because it's just an easy system to work. Anyone can work there, so that's the great part too.
So if you would describe what the experience is like for someone walking into your store, what would that be like? Let's say I come in and I've never been to Big Town
I
Hero.
can bet you anything. The first thing you're gonna say is like, "Wow, it smells good in here," because it's just the fresh bread baking stays in the restaurant, and that's what brings the people in there. And then we just have like this clean restaurant, neat and nice system. Like it's just you walk in, you see what you're gonna want, you see it right away. We have pictures, we have the sandwiches, and you basically can't even decide what sandwich you want because they all sound good.
You guys actually also do catering
Yes.
and events. How does that work?
So they can contact us through online, right? We have like on our online, they can submit their order, and I like to reply as soon as I see it. So I either email them like, hey, when's a good time to talk? So always meet their budget. I always like to meet their budget because sometimes there's events that I had one that was for a church, right? So it's like I'm Christian, so I was like, I want to support, right? And they didn't have a big budget. I was like, I'm gonna still make it work for you guys.
Oh, nice.
So we do caterings we do like the 2 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, or party boxes.
Okay.
And those are really nice. I like the big sandwich. You just go to a party or something, and you just see a big sandwich in the middle of the table. And you're like, whoa, where you get that?
Right.
So that's really nice too.
Nice.
So I like
So
helping.
you
other
really
people.
are about community.
Yeah, I really like helping people, especially if it's for a good cause, right?
So at what point did you stand in your store and say, I want to do more of this? And how does that work?
So at first it was kind of hard because I was in the store every day. But now I kind of trust my dad now because he could learn how to do the sandwiches. He knows how to manage the store.
Mm-hmm.
So now I kind of have him being there. Now what I'm doing is just looking at locations where I can put the drive-through model that we're working on. And I always told myself, you know, like I wake up every morning. I'm always tired, right? Because I have 2 jobs. I woke up every morning. I'm like, I gotta get up. I want to be the first millionaire in my family. You know, I gotta get up. So I always push myself to the limits all the time. I'm always looking for the next opportunity, and I pretty sure by the first of next year we're gonna have a Lake Oswego store running with the drive-thru.
And all set up. Oh wow, drive-thru. So tell me about this drive-thru because I am kind of curious now.
So it's gonna be so much better. Like the model is just so beautiful. It's just a quick 5 minutes, the most you're gonna be in there. Then that includes ordering and pulling in, ordering, paying, and getting your sandwich.
So are you making the sandwiches as you're talking to people, or
right,
how does that work?
Right. That's how it's gonna be. We're just gonna have 2 people on the table making sandwiches, not moving. Just going to be throwing left and right sandwiches, and we're gonna have the person taking the order. By the time you place your order and you get to the window, you're gonna have your sandwich ready. That's how fast it's gonna be.
That does sound fast.
And we're gonna have outdoor like dining instead of indoor dining, especially for COVID and stuff like that, right?
Sure.
Even with the vaccines and everything, COVID's still gonna be out there. People are gonna be afraid to dine in and be near other people.
It's gonna be a while for the new normal, whatever that might be.
So I think drive-through is gonna be so much better because you don't get out of your car. You're just in your car, get your sandwich, and keep going, right? So it's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's gonna be the best.
Sounds like it. So how does the expansion work? Is that something you have to do on your own, or does Big Hero Systems help you with that?
They're helping me with that too.
Okay.
They're helping me with the leads. They help me choose the perfect location. They tell me like, oh, don't do it here because there's nothing really around. Like, just do it here.
So they all that research information.
They
for
do
you.
everything. They do I don't know how they do it, but they have like something that tells you what's around 5 miles and everything, like house people, like business around it, everything. I'm just
so
like,
community
whoa.
and market analysis.
Yeah, so I'm like, whoa, this is so helpful, right? Because if it was me, I would be like, oh, that looks like a good location.
Let's open it over there, right?
Yeah, but no, they're like, no, just really think about it, see what's around, and that's another great thing they have. They have a great system to put a store. They don't just put it whatever, you know. They actually choose the spot that they think has a lot of potential.
Wow. By you telling us, what should we consider a franchise, a Big Town Hero franchise?
Big Town Hero has been around for 40 years, right? And there's a system that helps you from the beginning to the end. And this is a system that has been proven, right? Because there's stores open, right? I'm the proof of it. Like, I'm 3 months in, and if you follow what they tell you to do, you will increase your sales. That store wasn't making a lot of money. They were making half of what I'm making now.
Oh, wow.
I increased it the double by the 3
So
months.
the everyday calls are paying off.
Yes. That's the thing, right? Like, they're there to help you. And then if you keep bugging them, they're not going to get tired of it. Instead, they like to see you actually participating, wanting to be better, wanting to increase your sales, wanting to expand. So they like that stuff. So they really, really appreciate every call that you give them. That's another reason why I will recommend Big Time Hero, because like I say, they treat you like family. They don't treat you just like another regular person doing business with you, right? Like, it's actually a Big Time Hero family. So that's a great thing to be part of.
What is the best, the good of being a Big Town Hero franchise owner?
So I would recommend Big Time Hero because, like I say, they always there to support, right? They always treat you like a family member. They don't leave you alone. They're like, oh, you have your store, great. We're gonna help the next one and not get up on you, right? They actually do store inspections. They go once a month and go to your store, see how you're doing, and they tell you like, hey, you're not doing this right. Like, just work on it. And they don't like go on you like, oh, you're doing this all wrong, right? Like, they're there to support, so they just...
It's a consultant, it's a support, not somebody coming to boss you around.
Right, yeah, they're not like telling you doing things wrong. They're just like, oh, you're doing this wrong, just work on it. Next time I come, do not have it there, the problem, right? So that's another good thing, that they check up on you all the time. even if you don't ask for it, they check up on you, and that's great. Like that's what you want, right? You don't want to be doing things wrong, so that's wonderful.
Absolutely. What are your long-term plans? Let's say 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
So I'm planning on staying here for a good time, right? And I promised myself that in 5 years I'm gonna have at least 5 stores. So,
1 a year.
Yeah, 1 a year. So I'm already planning it on this year, getting in the second one, so next year we can open it.
Mm-hmm.
And from those 2 stores, just keep going and going and going and not stop until the owner of whole Oregon, you know, like the whole
You
stores in
want to
Oregon.
take over Oregon
Yeah,
through Big Town Hero
yes. I want
franchises.
Big Town Hero to expand so much, like around the country, that I can say, oh yeah, I'm in charge of Oregon, this guy's in charge of California, or something like that, right? So I want to get to that level, and I want the corporate to get to that level too.